Hello and welcome to the Islamic Finance Weekly. Out of a population of 200 million, about 83 million Nigerians are living in abject poverty, and inequality is rising at an alarming rate due to lack of access to financial services for a vast section of the public. As part of efforts to curb this menace, the Central Bank of Nigeria in 2012 initiated the National Financial Inclusion Strategy to reduce the number of adults excluded from financial services. This has led to the establishment of over 900 microfinance institutions in Nigeria since 2012. Out of the 900 microfinance institutions, the percentage of Islamic microfinance banks is very low despite a huge Muslim population. This will form the thrust of our discourse today as we examine Islamic microfinance banks in Nigeria, challenges and opportunities for growth. To share more light on this, I have my guest, Adnan Opeyemi, a research assistant at the International Islamic University, Malaysia. Good morning, Adnan. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
I'm happy to have you here. So thank you so much for the privilege to give me to share some of my data and to share some of my own quota on the mission to improve and to elevate Islamic finance to the upper level in Nigeria.
You're welcome. So as a researcher and a master's student currently working on various Islamic finance products, particularly Islamic microfinance, what is your perspective on microfinance and its key drivers in the global finance space?
Thank you so much, Sister Bukola, on this question. So firstly, I would just try to, you've already made some introduction. So what are the reasons for Islamic microfinance? So what are the strive, that push us towards Islamic microfinance, which make us see Islamic finance as option to other Islamic microfinance, which is conventional one. Okay. So actually, we can't talk about microfinance without talking about poverty. Exactly. So this is the main global strive that causes, which is the reason and the main target which microfinance want to tell. So then we have to start from poverty before going to microfinance. Okay. So to start from this, these are the global strive. So the poverty, what is poverty in just little sense? So poverty is the percentage of which individuals, or maybe average individual or average habitant, can able to afford the necessities in his life. So starting from shelter, food, minimum level of education. So as we can see currently in Nigeria, according to the World Bank, Nigeria is now, after India, Nigeria is now the second capital of poverty in the whole world. So with the percentage which you mentioned earlier. So what are the measurements which we use? So what are the measurements we use to? So according to the World Bank, so people are living below $1.20 per day. So $1.20 per day. So people living below this. So and 80%, so almost 80 million are living below. So which means they don't have up to this. So that's the little introduction about poverty. So now going to the two types of poverty which we have. So we have both and we have absolute. So these are the people that doesn't have lack of necessity at all. So which you can say, which we have many in Nigeria. So we have relative. So which are people that can even afford 50%. So you can see some people in Nigeria, they can only afford 2 meals per day, some 1 per day, some at all. So now to tackle this, now we go to microfinance. So microfinance, is a poverty mechanism. So to tackle, to alleviate poverty, to eradicate. So we normally use alleviate for poverty. So poverty eradication is most likely not possible. So to eradicate poverty in the whole world. So even in the context of Islam also, we can't alleviate, but we can alleviate. So to make maybe the percentage to be very low. So that's it. So low income and poor people. So and the initiative of Islam Microfinance Bank started maybe 1976 with agreement. I don't know if you have agreement bank in Bangladesh, which was Dr. Abdullah, which won the Nobel Prize because of this. So these are the little I can give about microfinance and the function of microfinance.
The adoption of Islamic microfinance has been viewed as an effective tool for poverty alleviation. So, how do you see the role of Islamic microfinance in tackling poverty in nations like Nigeria?
The role of Islamic microfinance is very huge, but I could narrow it down to 2 points. So, which the first one? So, to 3 points. First one is so we believe, which we see the conventional microfinance has been failing into, so which Islamic microfinance can fill in all these gaps. So the first one is micro savings and microcredit. So in Nigeria, we can notice now, now the whole microfinance conventional one are also following the step of conventional banks. So now they really prefer to go for huge customer people that will give something. So they are no more giving this micro savings, microcredit, and all this anymore. So the second one is financial inclusion. So the role of Islamic microfinance, which is just to tackle the rate of financial inclusion. So as we know in Nigeria now, we have two types of excluded financial individuals. So some are voluntarily. So we have in Nigeria some voluntarily exclude themselves from financial services because maybe the religious belief, some with many reasons. In Islamic way now, some doesn't want to deal with any bank because they are not sure if this is compliance, this is not compliance. So they don't want to deal, they just deal with their daily cash and everything. So these are voluntarily excluded people here. So which Islamic finance is going to fill this gap if they know Islamic microfinance, so IFI generally, Islamic financial institution in Nigeria. So involuntarily excluded are people that, because they don't have enough. So that's why they are being excluded or something. So the third one is accessibility. Yeah, so that's one of the failing area of conventional microfinance bank according to our studies here. So accessibility, so this bank are not really access. So the people that need this microfinance are the poor people and the low income. They don't have access to this. The people that have it is, even we can see a corporate company or something still going to get money from microfinance because of the credit risk. So they prefer to give them credit risk and some other things. So the accessibility to the unbanked community. So we can know in Nigeria, we still have many, vast unbanked community in Nigeria, people that don't even use bank at all, which was the reason why the central bank initiated the financial inclusion something. And as at now, they expect as at 2000, they target 2020 to expect at the rate of 70% financial inclusion. Until now, the central bank hasn't made it up. I think we're still around 55% or something. So these are the three we can, I think so, which is giving microcredit to people that really need it. So which are the poor, the financial inclusion and the accessibility to the unbanked community. So these are the roles of Islamic microfinance in Nigeria, which they can be. So as the alternative option to the conventional microfinance.
All right, Adnan, thank you. So right now we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll continue this conversation.
The Institute of Islamic Finance Professionals, IIFP, under the chairmanship of Associate Professor Tajuddin Olalikon Yusuf, invites scholars, practitioners, policymakers, researchers, professional bodies, regulatory agencies, and the general public to its annual Stakeholders Conference and Members Induction Ceremony. The theme of this year's conference is Weathering the Storms in the Financial Ecosystem, the Cutting Edge of Islamic Finance, with over 20 prominent speakers representing 15 Islamic financial institutions, private and public representatives, and Islamic finance stakeholders. The two-day conference promises to chart a new path for the Islamic finance industry in Nigeria. This year's conference shall hold between the 15th and 16th of December 2021 at the Afe Babalola Auditorium, University of Lagos, Akoka, Yaba. The chief host for the event is Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundikpe, the Vice Chancellor, University of Lagos. The keynote address speaker for the stakeholders conference shall be the Honorable Minister for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Honorable Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed. The keynote address speaker for the members induction ceremony shall be the Rector, Lagos State Polytechnic, Dr. Oluremi Nuruddin Olaliye. For more information about sponsorship and participation, contact Mansour 0803 445 9801, Tumishe 0803 580 3197, Wasilat 0813 250 1405. To register, kindly visit conference.iifpnigeria.org. Website www.iifpnigeria.org. Email conference@iifpnigeria.org. The IIFP's annual Stakeholders Conference and Members Induction Ceremony promises to be highly interactive, enlightening, and preferring cutting-edge solutions to the problems of the Islamic finance industry in Nigeria. Be a part of the discussion. Be a part of the future.
Welcome back, and if you are just joining us, we've been discussing challenges around Islamic Microfinance Bank in Nigeria and opportunities for growth. So, Adnan, let's look at Islamic Microfinance Bank, which have been described as vital agent that can support the growth of micro enterprises in Nigeria, as you said. So, what are the factors hindering the establishment of more Islamic Microfinance banks in Nigeria?
We have a lot challenges hindering them. And that's because the foundation, the regulatory framework, all these things are not set to align or any religious affiliated financial something. So that's where the issue starts, which I believe the central bank is working on. So to make it easy, the first one that we have to go is the share capital. According to the central bank, which is the guideline that was issued, the latest one was 2017. We have the three types of microfinance. If you want to open, we only have three categories. So we have one unit, we have state unit, and we have national unit. So the share capital required from this institution are huge, and according to the category, for example, this one unit has to have 30 million share capital upon opening this and have one branch in the state within the local government. So they can issue more than within the local government. So all this kind of share capital is a huge challenge for Islamic microfinance. So conventional microfinance can just go to maybe conventional bank to get a loan to fill in this required something. Islamic finance can't deal with. Which only give the option for them to rally this money from the Islamic Foundation. So we can see most Islamic microfinance in Nigeria are much affiliated to either Islamic Corporation, Islamic Society or something, because that's where they can seal the pool of the kind of amount which the central bank is really asking. So another something is the license. So the license are not really feasible to get like the conventional one, which one of the case study which we're confirming it, one Islamic microfinance in Ijebu precisely. So they apply within 5 years, they couldn't get. So they have to get conventional one, why they have to work with Islamic Corporation. So they are conventional license with Islamic Corporation. So these are some issue which the license are not really easy. So because of the framework and the regulatory framework which are not really visible for. So the third one which I will be saying is the framework. So we don't really have we only have BIOFA, Bank and Other Financial Institution Act. So we only have many acts. So there wasn't any act for Islamic. We only have a guideline. So central bank only issued a guideline which Islamic microfinance. So the framework wasn't really good enough for Islamic financial institutions. So Islamic financial IFI generally. So to the lower level of Islamic financial institutions. So also we don't have standards. So under the framework, guideline framework. So we don't have specific Sharia guideline and specific Sharia standard. So sometimes we really use the IOF standard, we use the IFSB. So we just try. So we need to come. So our scholars and the Sharia advice committee need to come out and follow the step of maybe UAE, Malaysia, and issue our own something which we need to follow. So by the guidance and to follow the step of the Sharia scholars in Nigeria. So the fourth one is awareness. So generally not only in Nigeria, so over the whole world, so the Islamic finance industry in the whole world is still facing the awareness. So it's coming to Nigeria where even average Muslim in Nigeria cannot differentiate the difference between Islamic bank and conventional bank. All they will tell you is the same. Because when they want to go to, someone told me the other time, when they want to go to Islamic microfinance to get loan, they said they have to add something on it. So that means they also, what they're adding is not interest. Okay. So Islamic microfinance is not a charitable organization which they have to give. Sometimes they give called Hassan, which is benevolent loans, but just once in a while. So they are working with shareholder funds, which they need to give something back to them also. So what they are getting is profit. What they are doing with you is profit. They want to, so it's either Musharaka, Mudoraba, any contract they are using. So most Muslim they aren't aware of these differences. So which awareness is also one of the issues. So the fifth one is human capital. So till now we don't really have much human capital resources for Islamic finance. More if we can go to even IFI generally in Nigeria, so they're still hijacking, train them with maybe some workshop on Islamic finance or something. So you can hardly find maybe little. So people from this background, which they have the Sharia knowledge and the economics. So they have both knowledge together. The people that have come from Islamic banking and finance. So this human capital is also a big hindrance for Islamic microfinance in Nigeria. So the sixth one is Islamic fintech. So now financial digitalization is winning the whole world. So we shouldn't lag behind in Nigeria. So most things, because of this Islamic fintech, most, not just Islamic microfinance, most social finance, Islamic finance are not really working in Nigeria. So most our zakat, we are now going into crowdfunding zakat, something, we are not getting these online, we still have to knock the door to get the zakat. So then work also. So we need to, Islamic fintech is really huge, which the case study which I mentioned earlier. So the bank is also using a third party fintech, which is highly risk. So the credibility risk, which follows compliance, Sharia compliance also. So most they don't care about Sharia compliance since they are conventional. So this also exposes them to the risk of extra charges, which the customer complain on, that they are deducting our money or something, and they said they are Islamic microfinance or something, so they are deducting the money, which is charges, it's a third-party charges which they can't escape from. So our Islamic bank, Islamic financial institution need to come together, maybe to come together to create a fintech something which will be liable and build upon Sharia compliant products, which will be very easy. So the seventh one, which is the last one, we still have many, so I have to narrow down, is misconception. So misconception about IFI generally, Islamic financial institution, is still very at high level in Nigeria. So which I can give like 3 examples, which some people, Islamic finance is only for Muslims. So we still have this conception in Nigeria, so which they only think IFI, Jaiz Bank or something, they are only for Muslim or something, which is not. So we still have something. So some also say Islamic financial institution are charitable organization. So they just want to get the loan, they don't want to return. Since it's Islamic, so it's religion, then if we don't pay back, they can't take us to court. Why would they? Because they said they are Islamic something. So another one which is really huge, which is still a huge hindrance in Nigeria. So something Islamic finance in Nigeria is an Islamization project. If we can remember when Nigeria wants to join during Sanusi Lamido, when Nigeria wants to join the OIC. So some are saying they want to Islamize Nigeria. So and the OIC is for financial corporation, which we have to help so they can help. So some people are still thinking it's Islamization. They want to Islamize Nigeria, they hold something. So Islamic Bank wants to. So these are the issues, and it's something which Islamic IFI generally is facing, and Islamic Microfinance Bank is facing also.
Definitely, Adnan, misconception, social barriers, financial literacy, and religiosity have a significant effect on the use of Islamic products in Nigeria. Thank you very much for those perspectives. Now, poor and low-income people in Muslim countries have little access to either conventional or Islamic microfinance. So how can we enhance financial inclusion through Islamic microfinance?
So financial inclusion through Islamic finance we can enhance Islamic financial inclusion through credit plus. If you can say from our second slide, so I mentioned earlier that how Islamic finance can do is credit, so microcredit and microsavings. So now, according to the research and which many article has been published, is microcredit and microsavings are not enough to alleviate poverty. So from the low income and poor people, So then we have to have credit plus. So what do we mean by this credit plus? So we are having 5 steps. So the first one is micro savings. So then, which we have, we will pick a pool of people, so Muslims to have micro. It doesn't matter. It might be 100 naira, 200 naira. We just have to save something. So micro savings. Then from this, we can have micro credit. So we give loan to people. So according to, we can give 1,000 or something. So just to help people or something. So the initial microfinance objective only stop on these 2 steps. So which we think Islamic microfinance can extend more 3 steps to enhance financial inclusion. So the third one is micro takaful. So which is micro insurance, which Islamic microfinance also can offer. So after giving loan to them, so then we have to give them some to ask them to pay some little insurance. So in case, so which is going to put in the risk fund. In case we can say for a poor person to do business in Nigeria now and succeed, the percentage is within maybe 50-50. So then we have to use the micro takaful to help them. So in case this, which we, some risk which they are liable to, which is credit risk, disability risk, all these risks which poor people are liable to. So this takaful micro insurance, so they don't have money for enough insurance, you can see how much. So micro insurance, we can give as much as little as 1,000 naira insurance for someone that is getting loan of 10,000 naira, which can save them. Yeah. So these are the third step which we need to include. So to integrate. So the fourth one is integrations. So now we can see Islamic microfinance, as you mentioned earlier, we have over 900, I think, which the 10%, we only have Islamic microfinance of 10%, which is around 9 or 10. So some said 11, one is still coming up. So we only have, which is very low with this. So the reason they are not doing fine because of this, because they don't have enough capital, they don't have all these problems which I mentioned earlier. So they can have this with integration with more products. So now we're having some new products that are coming, microfinance integration with WAC asset, WAC fund, integration with Zakat fund, integration with Sadaqah, which we can use all this. We can say our WACF also is not performing, our Zakat institution is not performing. So microfinance as a financial institution, so can enhance all these institutions. We can use maybe WACF asset. So Islamic finance can develop it and make it, sell it. So integration with other social finance can move us forward. So can enhance financial inclusion. So these are something which the system are not helping. The central bank are not helping. So all this is something else. So all these institutions need to come together. So microfinance need to come back to it. Financial institution need to come with Zakat institution, WACF institution. If they can come together, then with a good integration product, so then they can come up with poverty alleviation tools which will be liable. Yes. So the last one, which something is training. So we don't, most something is, for example, which one of the biggest something is LAPO. So they only give loans, which we later see default in paying back that loan. So some people get loan or whatever they want to, they don't care, they have to get their money back. So that's the conventional view. So Islamic view is you don't just give them money, we need to start training them on entrepreneurship skills. So when you give someone 10,000 naira, let him know so how you can use this 10,000 naira to make 5,000 naira in the next 2 months. So we need to involve them to train them on entrepreneurship too. So this is how we are going to improve their financial literacy. So these are the credit plus plan which Islamic finance needs to include. On this 5, not just giving loan or just taking their savings alone.
Thank you. I believe the solution to achieve the target of poverty eradication is to practice microfinance in an Islamic way and adopt other Islamic finance instruments in order to eradicate poverty in the country. So from your expertise, can you highlight possible ways institutions and the government can key into Islamic Microfinance Bank to achieve inclusive economic growth in Nigeria?
So there are a lot of ways. So we really have limited time with a lot of data. So I could only narrow this down to 3 steps, which is macro, meso, and micro level step, which can be done. So some institutions can only help in the macro way, some can only help in the meso, and some in the micro. So coming from the government, the government can only work in the micro level, so which is helping in the share capitals. So Islamic microfinance can get loans. So the central bank and the government need to come up with. There is a lot of ways. So there's sukuk. There are many ways of generating capitals. So which Islamic finance of good. So the government can create a product. So to maybe Musharaka product with microfinance to help me create fund, or even create sukuk fund for them for capital. So there are many ways. So these are kind of help which the government can help, and the institution under government which come to the central bank. Central bank are also some. So another way is the legal and supervisory framework. So we need to come up with a well-structured legal and supervisory framework. So which is going to help. Yeah. So the first one is the legal something. So if there is a default in the case of Islamic Microfinance Bank, or maybe in IFI generally, so which court are we still going to go? We're still going to go to conventional. So which they're still going to use the constitution or something. So at the end, so is not really giving an equitable legal something for them. Yeah. So which in the case study of a legal, I don't know, I think Ahmad versus Jais Bank or something, which the conventional verdict is given that the product is not Shari'ah-compliant, then they have to use the conventional institution or something. So we need to, like, for example, Malaysia and other countries. So in Malaysia now we have Muamalat bench, which is a court. So which any default or something is to go in there. So the judge there or something, they have maybe fundamental knowledge about Islamic financial product and how it works. So it can make them, so this is going to give some opportunity and benefit. So we need to come with the legal and also supervisory network framework. So most supervisory, supervisors going to supervise all these IFIs only have little knowledge about something. So there is no something checking the Sharia compliance
is also very important.
So yeah, it's a bit hard. So the IFI can just hide anything under the something. If they don't have enough
Sharia scholars, they need most of them need the right skills.
Yeah, they only have, so they don't have enough to supervise all these institutions. So these institutions are liable to Sharia-compliant risk. So if there is no enough something. So international ventures also. So this is the one which I think the government needs to open the door for international. So if they do not even offer help, so we have, as we know, for conventional bank, we have World Bank, which even conventional bank is going to World Bank to get some petty loans at times. Yeah. So the government need to open the door. Yeah. And on Islamic something, we have a international, multinational something, which is Islamic Development Bank. So we have Islamic liquidity something. We have Islamic financial board. So we have many international something which are offering we are offering help to IFI. So the government needs to open this door for Islamic financial institution in Nigeria also to go to this and get something without any coming back to them. Don't have to something. So we need to lean some rules or something for IFI or something.
Yes.
So going to the meso level, yeah. So the meso level is institution we have in Nigeria. So the IFI can't do this alone. We have institutions starting from the universities. So the universities can now, at least now really at BUK or something, Bayero University is the only institution in Nigeria offering Islamic finance at degree level and maybe fine or something. Others we really have just training and
we also have Nungu Business School.
Islamic finance.
So they're taking postgraduate diploma in Islamic banking.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's just so these are the information I have. So we really have training centers, all these, but these are not enough to train people.
Yes.
Like we're saying, human capital development is one of the issues.
Exactly.
We need experts, so graduate, Islamic finance graduate or something, which university can do. Training center, so religious centers also. So our imam needs to stop, discussing all about Allah, all this or something. They need to just include, so to improve financial literacy of people also. Yeah,
exactly.
to talk about them. So why would you be talking about maybe the story of the Asian people or something? Why you still have one of your congregation getting loan from GTB, so with interest. So this we need to know. So religious centers has a lot to do, and our Islamic scholars also. So they have enough to do because they are close to people or something. So we can imagine every imam at someone giving Islamic financial literacy sermon every Friday. So they have access to people to let them know the consequence behind getting loan with interest. Why we have so what? We don't have enough, but we have yet. Now we are having Lotus, we are having Jais, we are having Taj, and many are coming. Islamic finance is something. You can say we don't have any. But it's because they don't see the difference, and they think it's just the same thing that we can deal with. So these are institutions that can help also. So these are the meso level. Now going to the micro level. Okay. So these are the IFIs. So Islamic Financial Institution, Islamic Microfinance Bank, Islamic Capital. So Islamic Capital Manager, so Fund Manager, all this. So first thing they need to work together. Yeah, the market doesn't favor them. Yeah. So as we know, Nigerian market doesn't favor Islamic finance. So they need to come and work together, create many other products. So we have also in Islam we have enhanced products. So two banks can come together to give a huge product to people, which is going to, if they don't have enough funds, so they can work together. They can promote integration, which I mentioned earlier. So to integrate it with many other products. So to social finance or something, because we are talking about microfinance, and the objective of microfinance is poverty. So to make this count, so we can't talk about microfinance without talking about Islamic social finance. So which is they write something that will make effect on people, which is zakat, work on all these things. Exactly. So these all the institutions are not doing enough. Then all this Islamic finance or something need to work with them to really make effect on people. Yeah. So that's it. So the next one is social finance. So all these IFIs need to start giving it. So we know we are, profit oriented. Yeah. So we want to be profit. So we need to think about, so we need to integrate together to do good deeds and try to influence positively on people financially, socially, and everything. So we need to put that to give an equivalent loan to invest in social finance. So Islamic IFIs can start developing. We have, especially in the north, we have vast major work of land which are idle, so which are underdeveloped, which are not. So we can develop it and make it so rent, which we can generate profit. So from the beneficiary and give to the beneficiary also. So the human capital also. So we need to work on that. Start employing experts. We start, giving jobs to experts. We start, giving priority to Islamic finance itself. So start employing people from that background. And so then the final one, which is Islamic financial literacy. So Islamic financial literacy in Nigeria is still very at low level, and like all level, as I mentioned, all these meso and macro also need to. So Islamic finance is IFI also has a lot to do to improve Islamic finance. So we need to, on any product we're giving to any customer or something, so we need to have a clear documentation to explain to them what this really means. So after we give it to them, then they go. All they say is they are also taking something upon the loan they give to me. So we need to let them know, okay, we are using Mudoraba for this. This is how it runs. So we are using Musharaka, diminishing Musharaka Mutanafisal, this is Sina. We have Muraba, many products, tens of products, which Islamic Microfinance, Islamic financial institution has to offer. So which we know conventional doesn't have anything than loan with interest. So this is the only product. We have, many tens of products which we need to let people understand and let them have options. If they come to us, I want to do this. Okay, this is the best for you. You also have Musharaka, you have something, you have this and this and this. So which we need to improve. So these are the 3 levels which I think the government and other institutions can key into the development of Islamic microfinance banks.
All right, thank you, Adnan. We do appreciate you for coming on the show. Indeed, the link between microfinance and economic development has been well established from what you said so far, what you've explained so far. The aim is to reduce poverty through job and wealth creation. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We have a great day.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Islamic microfinance, which involves the Shari'ah-compliant way of financing and providing credit, is one of the most popular tools deployed to address poverty in Nigeria. empower and increasing the opportunities for productivity in the nation, giving social benefits to the impoverished people in a sustainable way. The entry of more Islamic microfinance banks will improve financial inclusion, and this calls for more strategic steps by the Central Bank of Nigeria, Sharia scholars, non-interest financial institutions, and other key stakeholders. And that will be all for today. Thank you for watching and following the Islamic Finance Weekly. See you next week Friday for another episode. Bye.